Hi, and welcome to At-Home Art Lessons with the Art Groupies, where we develop great art habits. We're going to be working with this new groupie. Her name is Wanda. Wanda is the type of artist who knows that there's more to art than just creating. Making connections with art with other cultures to find personal meaning and inspiration is what Wanda is all about. We're going to take a field trip today with Wanda and this guy. His name is John Banovich, and he is an American artist from the state of Montana. He was inspired by The Jungle Book and his father. His father had a love of the outdoors. So he's a wildlife artist and a conservationist. So he's more than just art. This is his painting. Yes, painting. I thought he was a photographer. So this is a photograph of a lion, and this is Mr. Bonovich's painting of a lion. Impressive details, correct? He creates these dramatic portrayals of wildlife because he spends a lot of time out in the fields of Africa. So our field trip today is to Africa, and we're going to be inspired today by John Banovich's painting of a lion. We're going to start our project with using the element of line. So I have some white paper that I'm going to create my lion, and I'm going to start in the top of the paper for his head and leave the rest of it for his big body. And I'm going to start with a simple line in the shape of the letter U. Then I'm going to do another letter U upside down 2 times for his ears. There we go. Another line over top for his forehead. So I'm going to do a little line inside and outside for his ears. I'm not going to be worried about the mane right now. That's going to come last. So I'm going to extend a line out for the back of his body. I'm going to round it off and come down almost like the letter C. And this is for his back legs. His paw, come up and come back around here for the back leg. I'm going to come and do his belly. Then going to start with his front paw and leg. Going to continue on with the line for his chest. Going to then come down for the line of the other paw that's in the back. Same with the hind leg in the back. So simple lines that come together to create a really awesome shape. I'm going to do his tail, which is a line that kind of follows the leader, just like so. So now we have a great shape that looks like our lion. We're going to create form today by using paint, a tempera paint. I have a variety of colors for my lion. I have some different colors of yellow. I have a gold and a copper, some red, white, and some black. We're not going to be painting today with your typical paintbrushes. We're going to have fun, and we're going to create texture of our lion to make it seem like he is full of fur, but we're going to do it with unique things. So for example, if you don't have a craft sponge, you can make one on your own. You can take a regular everyday sponge, cut it into a strip, and then you fold it, take a clothesline clip, and voila, you now have your own craft sponge. You could also take a strip of a washcloth that you would find in the kitchen, wrap that around a plastic fork, use a nice little hairband, and you can use that for your sponge. or you can use some Q-tips. Tie them again around with a hairband, and I put it on a vegetable skewer. That makes awesome texture as well. So whatever you choose, give it a shot to create some texture. I'm going to use my regular craft sponge, and I'm going to dip it and double load it, and that will make my lion appear textured. And I'm going to try to create form by putting some darker colors around the edges of my tiger. Don't worry if you get outside the lines, because we're going to eventually cut this guy out when he's nice and dry. But you always want to try to have a variety of colors. And you don't have to worry about getting a new brush. It kind of looks great if you blend it in and make that unique color. So have fun. Try the different tools to create your lion and see which one you like the best. Now, John Banovich, like Wanda, is more than just an artist. Like I said, he goes out into the field and really watches the animals. But the money that he makes from his paintings, he uses that to protect the habitat. So he creates, he has a channel where he can take that money and protect the habitat of the animals from Africa and other countries, to protect them. So he's more than just an artist. He supports conservation efforts through vision and exploring ideas with others and sharing different ways that he can help his animals that he loves to draw. So have fun creating your lion. And like I said, don't worry about going outside the lines, because we're going to cut this guy out. And you want to grab and pull other colors in, because it helps create that form and that more natural feeling than if we just colored it in or painted our lion. And that's kind of what we're after here. Don't think I could ever paint like Mr. Banovich. That is just absolutely amazing. Like I said, I honestly, when I came across his art, I thought he was a photographer. Never in my wildest dreams did I realize he was a painter. He first was a bodybuilder, and he really thinks that having that strength and that ability really helped him as an artist to become a better artist, to actually be able to paint and draw for a long period of time, because it takes an awful lot to work out and become a bodybuilder and a personal trainer. So he used those habits that he created and helps him be a fantastic artist. So here is my lion. We're now going to create the mane for the lion, and I'm going to use a nice yellowish golden paper. I'm going to use this piece of roll of tape to create my shape for my lion, for his mane. So I very simply just traced the shape. I'm going to cut out the circle. I want to add some texture to my circle as well, to give the texture or the feel that this is actually hair and a mane. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to snip And it can be different thicknesses and thinnesses that you leave in between each cut. Have a variety. Not to worry if you cut any of the pieces off. It's all good. So I'm going to go all the way around. Hold that for later. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut out my lion. And again, my scissors are facing away. And I am cutting out my lion. Just go straight across there. Come up. You can cut off any of those mistakes that you made or went outside the lines with that sponge or foam brush that you used. So artists use lots of different types of materials to create texture in animals and also in the habitat. We're going to use those same types of tools to create the background. Now here we're going to actually cut off his head. So we can just cut that right off, and we're going to glue that right down in the middle of that circle that we just cut out for the mane, and then glue it back on. So it's okay if you chop off his head. It's a good thing with this project. So John Banovich, an American artist from the state of Montana, was inspired by Jungle Book and also his father. And he's a wildlife artist. So I have my head. I'm going to take my glue, and you can maybe curl up some of these, bend them, make it look a little bit more realistic. I'm going to take my glue. I'm going to squirt that right on top of that head. I'm going to set this aside for right now because now I'm going to work on that background. And I'm going to use these different types of sponges that we created to decorate the background. So I'm going to take my fork. I'm going to double load it with some blue and some white, a nice light color to just make a texture and make a fun background. You can also try that sponge that you put on that clip. See what kind of textures that makes for the background of our lion. Don't really need to worry too much about the middle part because that's where our lion's going to be glued on. It's more the outside part that you should spend your time on. When you double load on any kind of tool, it makes for a nice, even, blended texture. Q-tips, I think, are my favorite. They give like a feel of flowers, perhaps, or maybe leaves, because it has that nice rounded shape to it. So, voila, did my background. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue on that lion. Put it right onto that background. Glue on the head. Voila. Now I'm going to use that black Sharpie to add some of that texture for my lion. To add in some details. Don't have to get too crazy. Maybe some lines for his paws. And voila, my lion by John Banovich. Have fun and hope you like your field trip to Africa.